Today's episode of Still Untitled is brought to you by Parachute. Parachute is an online luxury bedding brand based in Venice Beach, California, and they create a fine line of everyday bedding essentials to enhance your sleep. Everything from sheets and pillowcases to duvet inserts, cashmere blankets, and even candles. Parachute's bedding is premium quality and toxin-free, meaning that there are no harmful chemicals or synthetic finishes used, and their sheets are made of 100% long staple Egyptian cotton. It's the best in the world. They're manufactured in a mill in Tuscany that's been weaving bedding for nearly 80 years, and then it's shipped directly to your door. It's direct-to-consumer, meaning Parachute cuts out the middleman, so you can experience luxurious bedding for way less than you normally would. Parachute also publishes a blog with helpful tips like choosing the right bedroom color, interpreting your dreams, and how to wash your sheets better. They're with you every step of the way, from navigating the site to making your purchase to taking the best care of yourself and your bedding, too. If you want to try Parachute, you can go to parachutehome.com/untitled, and Parachute will give you $25 off your first order with the offer code Untitled. Again, that's parachutehome.com/untitled, and use offer code Untitled to get $25 off at checkout and start sleeping better today. Thanks for sponsoring Still Untitled, Parachute. Welcome to Still Untitled, the Adam Savage Project. I'm Will.
I'm Adam.
I'm Norm.
That's not okay.
No, it's not okay. Norm's on vacation this week. So
Norm is on a road trip.
he is on a massive road trip with his parents. It seems like they're having fun. I saw him post pictures from Portland, and he went to the costume exhibit at the EMP and saw the original Star Wars costumes.
Nice.
They
have a great collection there.
Yeah.
I haven't been.
I found out that was in Seattle the morning I was leaving, the last time I was in Seattle, and I was like, okay, my flight's at noon.
Yeah.
The exhibit opens at 10, so I could get there and get a good 35 minutes in, but I didn't go.
Yeah.
So I'll go back to
It's almost better not going than to do that.
I think that would have been a bad experience.
But Norm is road tripping with his folks.
Yeah.
That is intense.
I like we said a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I've done that. It is a good thing to do when you're in your early 30s.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. We were talking about road trips because I was about to head down to the desert in a Land
Yeah, how'd
Cruiser.
that go?
It went great. Mojave is both beautiful and stultifyingly hot.
I can imagine.
105 a couple days
Does the
ago.
cruiser have air conditioning?
No.
I wouldn't have thought so.
No, like I said, it's analog driving. It is, you open all the windows and a hot wind helps evaporation, but doesn't make you
You
cool.
just have a cooler that you're just chugging 2 gallons of water an hour?
I must admit, I got a letter from REI explaining that I had a dividend, because
Yes.
REI does that, and I went and I spent the whole shebang of that dividend on a Yeti flexible cooler.
Ooh.
It is.
Is it collapsible?
It's not collapsible, but Yeti makes these amazing insulated products, and this one is sort of about the size of a messenger bag, and it's soft, so I strapped it to the back of the passenger seat and filled it full of ice and soda, and that stayed cool for the entire day of driving down to the desert.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I always had ice cold waters, and now my new road trip drink turns out to be the Starbucks espresso double shot.
Oh man, those things are so bad for
I
you.
think I went through 8.
They're like
yesterday.
200 calories each.
Oh man! Well, they also keep you really awake because
That's
I
true.
left the desert at 2:00 yesterday, 2:30. I didn't get home till 11:30 for various reasons of stopping and such. But
Mistakes, things happen. Mistakes maybe
we'll
were
go
made.
over those. We'll go over those. But the best part was there I am at the edge of the Mojave Desert, Cohen Dry Lake bed, and I can't say what we were filming there, but
Right.
we had a good shoot.
Just the names of things in the desert. Like this is coming from the East Coast and moving here, knowing that there are places named Cohen Dry Lake Bed.
Yes.
That implies to me that at some point during the year there's enough water there that it is not dry.
No.
But not anymore, right?
No, this was part of a vast inland sea, and now it is just a salt flat, I believe.
Okay.
There was a heavy rain a couple of weeks ago, and so there is a little water in the lake bed, but it's not like that. That's no good for anybody.
It's sad water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was on Route 14 down there, off of 58. For those who want to check a map of California, right near Mojave, California. And it's quite easy to get home. From there, you can head south to Bakersfield and then shoot all the way up Route 5.
This is dangerously close to an episode of The Californians right now.
But I didn't want to do that. So I actually took, from 14, I went north and took Route 155 across the Sequoia National Forest, up to a top of a mountain called Greenhorn Mountain, I think.
Okay.
I've got a file which I'll send you to post.
I'll put it in right now.
Which is time lapse using the app Hyperlapse of me 15 miles coming down this windy road. It was beautiful, and I didn't see. It was exactly the kind of unbeaten path that I wanted. Route 155 is a not a straight shot, but it'll take you right from 14 all the way to Route 99, about 40 miles north of Bakersfield.
Mm-hmm.
So I added easily 90 minutes to my journey, but I didn't see another soul. It was post-apocalyptic. It was so beautiful.
Do you listen to music? Do you listen to podcasts? Do you listen to audiobooks? Or are you just kind of enjoying the silence of the road, or a little bit of everything?
It's music or the silence of the road. The Cruiser's too noisy to listen to podcasts, and I don't want to wear headphones.
Okay.
I went through my whole 60-song playlist.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have a drive-in playlist?
Yeah, and then I did do a good probably 2.5, 3 hours of just the hot road, of just, the windows open and the noise and the rattling of the Cruiser. Like I said, I love that analog feeling.
There's something amazing about the white noise, whether it's a road or an airplane or whatever, for me, that just makes it really good thinking time.
Yeah.
Like it's you get some heavy duty brain work going.
It's also meditation. I mean, it's also I was using it for meditation. There's meditation. You can concentrate on your breathing. You can also concentrate on sound. And in an environment like that, it's absolutely perfect for it.
I started meditating recently on the advice of you and a couple of other friends. Were like, you really need this, and it was incredible how restorative. Just taking 15 minutes in the middle of the day at like Comic-Con,
yeah,
when you're completely overwhelmed and the crush of humanity is bumming you out, and there's some jerk with a bullhorn yelling at you across the street, just literally sitting in the floor of the hotel room for 15 minutes and just kind of not thinking. And
what I find is that it doesn't necessarily make me feel better in the moment. It's just that by the end of the day, I notice I'm a lot more even keeled.
It's like a really good nap. It's like taking a perfect nap.
Yeah. So the desert was beautiful. Route 155 is gorgeous. The Central Valley is terrific. 99 got me home in a fairly short order.
Camping was good?
I didn't camp.
Oh, okay.
I had all the plans to camp, but when it's 105 and you're wrapped shooting at 6 p.m., but you still have 2.5 hours of daylight left, and that daylight is going to be at over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It just doesn't feel like there's a place I can go and be comfortable on a campsite.
Yeah, I can't imagine that the tent's going to be a cool, shaded refuge.
And out there, the desert's kind of like Australia. Everything that crawls around wants to kill you.
Yeah.
There's the Mojave green snake. There are rattlesnakes. There are scorpions. There are black widows everywhere. Ants, biting ants, fighting
bullet
ants.
Do we have bullet ants here?
I don't think so. I saw that thing about the bullet ants. That was messed up.
What was it? Well, it was my favorite hashtag yesterday.
It was the host of some show getting bitten by bullet ants as part of a ritual where they fill these gloves with bullet ants and he puts his hands in.
It's a terrible idea.
Yeah, no, I know. It's part of this Aboriginal ritual in South America, I think, and the guy was shaking and screaming for like 4 hours in pain. The bullet ant venom is one of the worst venoms in the world.
For pain.
For pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of bullet ants because yesterday there was a hashtag going around my science friends that was field work fails. And one of them was a guy who was running away from something and stepped in a hole, log rolled over, got his foot stuck in the hole, and the hole was a bullet ant hole.
No!
And he was just like, this is, yeah.
That's the worst thing ever?
Worst thing, yeah,
no,
incredibly painful.
No interest in such a thing.
No, it's a Joe Rogan business, not for us.
But you wanted to talk about...
You did something unbelievable! We've known about this for a little while, and we haven't been able to talk about it, and I'm really bummed Norm's not here because he was excited about it. But you got to fly in a U-2.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, no, I know. Insane.
Okay.
Totally insane. What do you want to ask?
I mean, here's the thing. It was on last week's episode of Mythbusters. Yeah. You can watch it on Hulu right now if you want to go see what happened.
It's one of my favorite episodes we've done. I will admit we're a little light on the myth department.
I didn't care.
No,
I was okay with that.
And really, the myth that we were looking at was that the U-2 is one of the hardest planes to fly in the world. And look, I've met a lot of pilots. The fact that this plane, only 900 some odd people in the history of aviation have certified to fly this plane.
Well, and it's been in service for 60 years.
Right.
50 years, whatever it's been.
That is a very, very small number compared to any other aircraft you want to choose. And I got a deep inculcation in, basically, it's like a piece of NASA hardware. This thing is hand-built. There's only there's only a few dozen of them in the world, and it takes some very specialized pilots and support crews and protocols to fly it.
It's basically right up there. Like, I think of that as in the same vein as the SR-71, I guess the YF-12, same thing basically, and then like the X-15, the rocket plane in terms of altitude and like the fact that you have to wear pressure suits and all this kind of stuff.
The pressure suit was, here, hold on a second.
Are you going to get, oh no. Okay, phew. I thought you were bringing out the other artifact.
No, this right here, this right here is an exact scale, 1/6 scale replica of the U-2 pressure suit.
So what's it like wearing a real spacesuit, Adam? How does it differ from your pretend spacesuits?
Well, so it's much heavier. It's a very complicated protocol. There's hundreds of steps to putting this on, and it requires a full team of people to help you. There's undergarments, there's middle garments, and then there's the outer garments.
Are you wearing like cooling suits and stuff underneath that, or is it?
You're not wearing cooling suits, no. You are wearing long johns. You're wearing a UCD. You're in collection device.
Yes.
And
they let you keep that, I understand.
They did. It is in there somewhere. Wearing I couldn't get enough of wearing the real space.
I have to imagine at the end of the day when they were like, "Hey, it's time to take this off, Adam." You're like, "No, I'm good. I'm cool."
Are you sure you don't want me to go home with this? Like, don't you have extras? And they're like, nope.
Are they normally custom for the pilots or semi-custom?
No, they're not custom. They have, and it's not one size fits all either. I think they have something like 17 different sizes. For all the different pilots,
right?
And then you know which size is yours,
okay?
Right? And they're not fully pressurized suits because they're only meant to pressurize in the case of a cabin depressurization.
So the cabin is pressurized.
The cabin is half pressurized, and then part of the pressurization also comes from the suit. So to sort of balance that out.
Half pressurized. Pressurization means like 15 or 20,000 feet altitude, or
I can't remember the exact numbers because we did this flight last year.
Yeah.
We did this flight a while back, and the numbers are sort of fuzzy in my head. But basically, we did in the training get it up to full pressure, in which case you're just an inflatable doll.
You guys look like the Michelin Man.
Yeah, and you know they run you through all the things you'll have to do if there are failures of the plane. And over the period of time that you're learning this, it makes you a little more and more scared.
I mean, if you think back to the first time you rode a commercial flight, and they're like, in the case of a water landing, you have that twinge of anxiety when they're talking about ejecting from the aircraft, and they're like, if this works, we're going to name it after you.
Right, no, there was the one where they you pull the first ejection handle, the second and the third. I told this last week, right? Yeah. And then the last one is you pull the canopy off, and if you make it, that's the new protocol.
Right.
Whatever you did.
If you're the one that survives, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The support crew was amazing. The folks up at Beale Air Force Base could not have been more welcoming and incredible. They were fabulous.
Could you actually see curvature of the Earth from? Okay,
totally.
So that was sometimes I wonder because you see we see weather balloon videos all the time, and you see what looks like curvature
with wide angle lenses,
but it's a GoPro, and everything looks like curvature with a GoPro.
You can see the curvature of the Earth up there, and space is black up above you.
Oh man!
And my maximum altitude is classified.
Yes,
right. I love my altitude record is classified.
You were above 70,000.
That's all I can say. I was above 70,000 feet, but I could see from Pismo Beach to Mendocino and from the Pacific all the way into Mono Lake, all in one glance.
I mean, Mono Lake is a 10-hour drive from the Pacific, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's all just part of the landscape below you.
You saw Northern California.
Well, and as I pointed out to someone afterwards, I was telling my wife about this. When you look up and you see 747 flying up above you, that's how far below us 747s were.
Oh, yeah.
We're twice as high as commercial aircraft
at least
fly.
Yeah.
the suits that the U-2 pilots wear occasionally show up for sale at auction. There is, in fact, one minus a helmet up for sale on eBay right now, but the guy's got a minimum, and he wants like 30 grand for it.
Is the helmet a normal Mark 7 helmet, or is it different?
You know what? I don't know the specific numbers. It is also.
Or Mark 4, rather. Sorry.
It's not a Mark 4. No. It's much later than that. They've gone through many, many, many design iterations. It is similar to the original Mark 4 high-altitude helmet in that it's not a closed loops. I can't keep getting closed loop and open loop mixed up. But basically, your NASA-type helmet, hi, Joey. Your NASA-type helmet... Here. Is pressurized all the way through the helmet and the suit.
Right.
There's a seal around your face, and that's what's pressurized, not the whole interior of the suit, if it doesn't have to be. And that's much easier to maintain and manage mechanically, etc. And it's just a very different...
You have a weird face mark after you take the helmet off?
Well, I mean, I also had to shave my beard a little bit, which is why I went with that funny mustache for that episode.
You looked like, people had a lot of questions about that when those videos popped up last year. So
what
now
was I doing with it? You know, it's funny that the moment I shave off my beard, and I've talked about this, and I go to a mustache, instant narc. I look like I come from
look like
three generations of cops.
You literally look like a 1970s cop show cop, like a fake cop show cop. Okay, so is it loud? You're not going faster than the speed of sound. You're going very fast.
No, you're not going incredibly fast, actually. It's not, I guess, I don't know the top speed we were traveling at. It's a few, again, the numbers are fuzzy, too.
I think they said 3/4 of Mach, basically. So, like a little bit faster than a jetliner.
Yeah.
But Mach slows down.
We're in incredibly thin air up there, so it's not insanely loud. Perhaps the most astonishing thing is the way this thing takes off, and you really should watch the episode if you haven't seen it, because it holds two people. And
it's a real weird-looking U-2. If you can think you know what a U-2 looks like, you don't know what this thing looks like.
It rides on bicycle wheels, effectively, because there's no room for landing gear, and the wingspan, I think, is 105 feet. So it's giant, giant wings that have little pogo wheels out at the ends of the wings to keep it off the ground, and when it takes off, it picks up speed, and it's just literally a little bit over 140 miles an hour, and then that's enough lift for it to take off.
Like a Cessna, basically,
So then you take off, and these pogos just drop off, right? And we did a tactical ascent, which is we stayed within the airspace of Beale Air Force Base. And this is not necessarily at Beale, but it is at places like Bagram, or where you're in potentially hostile territory. So what we did was, the moment we were airborne, we went to this very steep angle and corkscrewed up to 10,000 feet, which was not intense for me from a holding my lunch down, but so beautiful. And again, the amount of lift in the thing is crazy. So we go up to 10,000, then we slowly climb and keep on going up to 70. When it's time to come on back down and you are landing,
I don't think we saw this in the show. So this is all,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They showed the landing, but they didn't show the coming down.
So the coming down just takes a while. It's like an hour of just...
I got to imagine you weren't complaining.
Right. Yeah. So just beautiful views, and, talking to the pilot, he was just incredibly informative about the history of the U-2. He's one of the most experienced pilots in U-2 history, because he's a trainer.
Well, they don't want to kill the TV guy by accident.
Yeah, it's true. And then when you're actually landing on the runway, you need spotters helping you know where you are. And so
they literally drive behind you in a car.
Other U-2 pilots get into basically muscle cars and follow you at over 100 miles an hour, radioing to the pilot, okay, down 2 degrees, down, and 8 inches, touchdown. And then, because you don't have the landing gear or those pogos, you basically roll until you stop, and then one wing tips and touches the ground.
It's amazing. I mean, the other thing I didn't realize is that you're not landing on the back wheel like you normally do. The back wheel on this looks kind of like a dragger.
Yeah.
The front wheel is what takes the whole hit. So it seemed like you came in like nose first kind of, and then.
And again, you're landing on a bicycle.
Yeah.
It's an incredible amount of coordination. So we spent a couple of hours with the muscle car guys. Talking other pilots into landing and doing touch and go so we could get experience doing that. And then there they were on the runway racing behind our plane. Yeah.
So you also have ridden in an FA-18. I know the FA-18 was an exercise in keeping your lunch down.
Totally different. I mean, completely different. I've said on this podcast before, the F-18 is an astonishing piece of engineering just in terms of its precision and the way that it moves. There's just like no backlash, no nothing. You tell it what to do and it does it.
When we talked to Chris Hadfield at Comic-Con, he said, look, one of my favorite planes to fly just because it's like an extension of your body.
Oh, he said that on the podcast, right?
Or he said that when we were talking to him before the panel.
Yeah, he said, right. We had this. Sorry about this, but we had this amazing talk with Chris about planes because he's certified to fly.
He said he didn't remember how many planes he could fly, but it's
well over 100. And he said the F-18 is one of the few planes in which you make modifications for all the engineering of every kind of plane you learn to fly. He said the F-18 was. Once you get used to flying it is what you're thinking is what you are doing. It's one-to-one. It becomes an extension of you in what it can do because there's almost nothing it can't do.
Right.
He said it was one of his favorites. So, this is also, did I say this already about looking over the Midway aircraft carrier from my hotel room at Comic-Con?
No.
I have a record of telling the same story repeatedly.
I know, it's good that you're asking. Can we talk about the ZF-1 gun on your
Shush.
I'll bleep.
So I'm looking out, our hotel room in San Diego looked out over the Midway aircraft carrier covered with planes, and I'm standing there talking to Hadfield, and I said, how many of those can you fly? And he was like, oh, let's see. That one. Oh, not that one. All but one.
Wow.
Okay. So, I mean, they were totally different experiences. There was no danger of me getting sick in the U-2. It was a very gentle flight. It's with all that lift and all of that airframe. It's not a high performance. Well, I mean, how do I say this? It's a very different type of high-performance plane than the F-18.
I mean, it's the things that it's optimized for are very different. You know, F-18 is optimized for angle of attack and thrust to weight and all that stuff. This is optimized to stay very high and be out of missile range for everybody.
Yeah, and both of them are incredible. If I had to choose one to do again, I might choose the U-2, specifically because while the F-18 experience of it was not diminished by the fact that I was vomiting repeatedly. I don't like vomiting repeatedly.
It's a thing that most of us choose to avoid if possible.
It's true. I really was gratified also by the Twitter love about the episode, the social media love, because for us, our whole crew was invigorated by spending time with the men and women at Beale Air Force Base who worked with us to make this episode great. Mm-hmm. Every single one of them. I mean, when you think about being a CEO of a base like that, that's running this amazing legacy program, it's really impressive. And I talked to the CEO about this, that every member of the team seems just deeply in love with the dedication of this unit that flies the U-2.
They're doing something that very few people get to do, and usually if you're in that situation, you're really it's the same kind of feeling we get when we go to NASA and go to Johnson and meet the people who are making food for the space station, and they're like they are doing that because it's an important job and people need to do it, but they're there because they love it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And so that was really, really thrilling for us and wonderful for us to see the working, see behind the curtain there.
So, what was your favorite moment while you were there? While you were up in the plane?
It was being at the top, being above 70,000 feet, and talking to the pilot about. You know, there are just very few humans that ever get to go to this height, and the vantage point. One again that you know, I don't need to go that high to know how fragile the Earth is.
You can see the atmosphere.
Yeah, but you really can see the atmosphere and see and start to get a sense of the scale. Start to get a sense of your scale to the thing, and that's, I talked about it a lot up there. It was a once in a lifetime thing, and it was just moving times 20.
Did you realize before you were up that you were going to be higher than everybody but 6 other people on the planet?
No. And to be clear, some people on Twitter have said, there might have been some SR-71 pilots higher than you, and there were probably a bunch of other U-2 pilots.
I don't think there are any SR-71 pilots. I think that's a retired program. Oh, maybe not. Maybe they brought it back.
Or yeah, it could be.
Yeah. Could have been other U-2 pilots.
There could have been
other Russian or Chinese pilots.
Absolutely, totally.
But let's say less than a dozen. No problem.
A small number, a countable number.
It was an amazing episode. The video that you guys brought back from that was astounding. So that U-2 is a trainer, right?
Yes.
So that means you were in front of a fully functional set of controls and all that stuff. Did you get to do any of that stuff?
I didn't.
You had to have hands off the whole time?
I don't want any control over any of that stuff. Leave that to the experts. I have no interest in, hey, what does this do?
So you didn't do the thing like when you go up with your friend who has a Cessna or something, he was like, hey, take the stick, I'm going to take the yoke, I'm going to let you, okay. That seems
thank you.
Probably good given the overall cost of that airframe.
Now, speaking of spacesuits and astronauts, and we mentioned Hadfield, I ran into an astronaut this morning.
So that's the thing that happens to normal people all the time.
I'm at my local coffee place, Ritual Coffee here in the Mission, and I'm getting my soy latte, and as I'm leaving, this guy says, I'm also wearing the blue Apollo 11 NASA flight jacket.
Yeah.
And the guy says, Adam. And I look down, and I don't recognize him. And he says, I'm Scott Parazinski. I wear one of those for real.
Kind of a burn from the astronaut.
I'll take that burn.
It's okay, poser, but I like your jacket. That's awesome.
Yes, and he's done that. He's actually done spacewalks with Chris Hadfield. So, I mean, it's a small community.
Yeah.
Another astronaut added to the list of astronauts I have met and spent time with. We sat and had coffee together for a little while.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Is he local or is he?
He's not. He was up here for some business.
But he likes good coffee, so he's got to be an okay guy.
And he's in my hood, and he said, at first I noticed your jacket, and then I thought, that guy looks kind of familiar.
I have to say, we taste tested coffee when we went to Johnson.
Yeah.
That they have on the station.
Yeah.
Surprisingly good coffee.
It better be.
I mean, when you think about morale, I expect submarines, space stations.
Yes, exactly.
But it was the coffee they made. It's like instant reconstituted, freeze, essentially like Folgers crystals, but they use good coffee to make it.
Yeah.
And it's something you can buy off the shelf. It's what I've started taking when I go camping now, because it's way easier than carrying beans in a grinder.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It's just Kona. Okay. It's the I don't remember the brand.
Write it down for me.
But it's Kona freeze dried, and you can get it. You can order it online.
I totally will. I think that's
a good place to wrap. Yeah.
I think now I'm going to send Thing One to go get some coffee right after this. He's sitting over there.
I'm okay with that. We extended the poster promo.
Yes.
So it was going really well. People
wanted to ask for an extension.
Yeah. So we were running it through the end of August. If you haven't had a chance to sign up yet, or if you renew during the month of August, you'll just get it. Make sure your address is updated on your profile.
Please.
If you want to find out how to get Adam's poster, it's this gorgeous line drawing of his ILM toolboxes. You can go to tested.com/membership and find out how to find out.
I'm really proud of this poster. I haven't seen one yet.
We haven't printed them yet. So we don't.
I can't wait.
We print them all at the end of the run. This is the other question we get. So they'll be printed after the promotion closes, and then we'll start shipping them out immediately.
Awesome.
And we're working on some stuff to get international orders shipped a little bit faster than last time.
Oh, nice.
Because I know that took a long time. But we'll be back next week with another episode of Still Untitled. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.